If you want to make the best out of 2024 without stress or burnout, you need to do the same thing I did, which was have no big goals. Reflecting on past years, I fell into the trap of quote unquote big goals, which left me exhausted, unhappy, and even injured. But in 2023, I accidentally figured out a more sustainable path where I worked less but I got more in the end, while still enjoying life. I don't actually mean not have any goals, just at least not the same type of goals that we usually are told to have. You know, those ones that are measurable or they have to amount to something in the end. But if that's not the best way to set goals, then what is? In climbing, we have grades that determine the difficulty of the climb. These grades have a number and a letter. The higher the number, the harder the climb. The letters are A, B, and C. A 6A is easier than a 6E, and if there's a plus sign at the end, that makes the grade harder. In the previous years to 2023, I wanted to get to 7C plus as fast as I could, but I only had managed 7A at the time. I trained and pushed hard on every session, but that only left me injured and my progress stalled. I got fed up with this, and so in 2023, I set my goal of not getting injured. I decided to climb outdoors because you're limited in the amount of tries, because the rough texture of the rock will tear your skin much faster than climbing indoors, for example. So I started climbing a lot of boulders outside that way way under my limit just to be safe so I wouldn't get injured and I wouldn't be pushing too hard either. And since I couldn't push myself in climbing, I pushed myself running my first half marathon. But this only brought me problems. Even though I gained some stamina from running, my legs became very stiff. So I found a movement training program that would help me to loosen up and get me stronger in the basic exercises like push-ups and pull-ups. But I noticed something interesting, that I was getting weaker instead of stronger. And in this moment, I realized that with my new goal of not getting injured, I had let myself be too careful with climbing only grades way below my limit. I was no longer able to climb the level I did before. So I said, screw it, I don't care if I get injured, I'm just gonna climb at my limit again. So I went out to a boulder. I was not feeling very confident. I had been failing so much this past month that I even considered giving up on climbing. However, this day I limited myself to 3 tries so that I would make every single one count. On the first try, I didn't manage to do the first move. On the second try, I failed again on the first move. On the third try, I focused as much as I could. I got past the first move, then the second, third, and on the fourth one, which was the most difficult, I focused too much on how I was grabbing the holds and my foot slipped. I was a bit heartbroken, but also I felt a bit of confidence in myself. So I bent my own rules and said, okay, one more try. It all happened in a flash, and as I stood there in the top of that boulder, I realized that having the goal of not being injured didn't mean I couldn't try hard. I just need to not try hard all the time. So I decided to keep my goal, and with this newfound insight, try to push my limits. On that same day, I climbed another 7A, making it one of the best climbing days in my history of climbing. So I kept applying my rule of limited tries and the 110% effort each try, but not giving 110% every single session I climbed, indoors or outdoors. What this resulted in was me climbing 7 7As, 2 7A pluses, 1 7B, and even 1 7B plus, setting myself a new personal record and limit. Whereas in 2022, the max I did was 2 7As. How crazy is that? So I no longer push myself to have crazy amounts of progress every time. I just focus on sustainable effort. I put my health and well-being above a number. Goals should be small actions that will inevitably amount to something greater than you could have set for yourself as achievable. With this in mind, my goal for 2024 is very simple. In the past, I would say that I want to have 10,000 subscribers as a goal. But with this new perspective, my real goal is I want to share only what I love and inspires me with other people every day, in hopes that that inspires others to do what they love the most. And I know this works because there's already 500 of you who watch, comment, and like my videos. And I want to say thank you to all of you. I want to know what are your goals for 2024 with this newfound perspective. If you found this video useful or inspirational in some way, consider sticking around by subscribing or hit the like button so more people can find this video. Thank you, and I'll see you tomorrow.